There was a calling, old as the blood and older than fear. He chose them, not for their strength, but for what still lived inside them. Their first test began with a hunt, but it would end in something far darker. One of their own, twisted by promises and poisoned by power. The trail led them to a place forgotten by time and ruled by death. The elders ran, but not out of fear. They had faith in something worse. A weapon wearing the face of a brother. Hope faltered, and the moon grew silent. The old ones laughed, certain of their victory. But even they have forgotten the sound of a true alpha's step. Is there a savior? Or is this the end of the howl? Coming soon, only on the Professor Shadow channel. The Last Howl. At a quiet country boot sale, a man found something no one had dared to touch.
Interesting piece. The previous owner just went missing.
An object carved in a language no one speaks.
Varninhal.
But all can say.
Varninhal.
A warning, politely ignored. Back at home,
Varninhal.
he began to speak the name aloud. Again and again, until something answered. The screen crackled, the air thickened, and the door began to open. He saw something no man was ever meant to see.
My God, the colors are beautiful.
And it smiled back.
Yes.
But what begins in wonder ends in silence. Now, the lectern waits for the next voice, for your voice. The Lecturn of Varninhal.
Interesting piece. The last owner just disappeared.
An object of beauty and consequence. Speak it clearly, and it will hear you.
I'll take it.
They call him Sebastian now. A quiet man in a quiet house, untouched by time, forgotten by the world. But once he was something else. An elder, a creature of shadow and silence, feared by gods, fed by kings. And now he does nothing. He does not feed, he does not sleep, he does not die. Because he knows what waits for him if he dies. Nocturna, the god of vampires, who created elders not to live, but to ripen. So he remains, not by fear, not by instinct, but by one final choice, to keep the last piece of himself intact. If you've ever passed a house too quiet, with curtains that never move, he might still be there. Not resting, not hiding, just waiting for a reason to rise again. This is not your typical vampire story. It's not about blood or monsters. It's a mirror, held up to those who chase immortality, thinking the grass is greener beyond the grave. But what waits there isn't life without death. It's death without purpose. They buried him in the rain, but not everything stayed buried.
He said something about an old woman before he died.
She appears in every photo, always in black, always watching. He laughed once. I've never felt so alive.
I know something's wrong. You're changing.
But mirrors tell the truth, and in his, she was already there. You've changed, she said, and he had. Dreams turned to corridors, red and green and endless, and when he opened the door, she was waiting. Now the house is quiet. The chair no longer empty, but he is. In a house built on whispers and secrets, they opened a door they were never meant to see. Two curious children, one quiet night, and a ritual that marked them forever. What was summoned could not be sent back. Now, decades later, Edith lives a quiet life, charming, warm, alone. But some guests don't know when to leave. He thought it was her, but something else came in. Her brother still waits in the dark. She promised to protect him, to care for him, to feed him, and for 40 years she kept her promise. She's been feeding her brother for 40 years. Some family secrets should stay buried.
There comes a moment when the silence around you is louder than your heartbeat. When you're ready to give up, not out of weakness, but because you've forgotten you still carry the fire. But the fire never leaves. You were not born to be accepted. You were born to be you. Not to live by their rules, but to build your own. And if you ask, but what if I fail? Then fail beautifully. Because to give your soul to your true self, to try with everything you have, is not failure. It's the highest form of living. This is He Spent the Night with a Vampire, a tale of fire, shadow, and becoming.
It began with joy.
We're having a baby.
But one night, on a lonely road, they hit something not meant to be touched. She was born under a full moon, and in her eyes, the bloodline of a god. As she grew, the wild obeyed her. Beasts bowed, instinct stirred, and something inside began to wake. In the silence of night, she ran, faster than thought, closer to truth. He watched her, waiting, a shadow from before time. She wasn't cursed, she was chosen, and he The Alpha Prime saw her and was pleased. Now she runs, not alone, but with those like her. She is not the girl they raised. She is not the woman they feared. She is the howl beneath the skin, the fire that will never be tamed. It was just a model, a village made of wood, dust, and silence. But every night I found myself inside it, walking streets I didn't build, watched by something I didn't place. Each time I woke, something was missing. A footprint, a figure, a slipper that no longer fit my world because it now belonged to theirs. And then I looked up. Some models don't reflect life. They collect it. In the heart of old London lies a house untouched by time, but time isn't the only thing that refuses to die. Within its crumbling walls, an old woman lives alone, or so it seems. Her only companion, a black cat, whose eyes have seen more than one lifetime. But when blood runs thin and greed runs hot, family becomes foe, and inheritance becomes obsession. One slip, one scream, one body broken on the stairs, and a secret unlocked. There is a mound in the garden where no weeds grow, and what it takes it never gives back. Jeremy found the treasure he was owed, but the price was not in pounds, it was in flesh. For the Guardian has awoken, cloaked in rags, wearing the face of justice and feeding the earth below. Now Jeremy is part of the soil he tried to steal from, and Salem. Salem always remembers who pays and who is next. The Cat's Got Your Head. Available now on Spotify, Nook, Kobo, and all major audiobook retailers. Or if you're a Shadow Vault member, it's already waiting for you in the dark. In the beginning, there were no gods, no mortals, only 6 primordial forces adrifting through the birth of reality. But one was hunger. It reached for more, and in its first act, it fed. It consumed one of its own, and from that terrible feast, a form emerged. So too was born Nocturna, and so too were born the vampires. Now, his children, the vampires, are bound to him forever, sacrificed to feed his eternal hunger.
Broken stone and the bell tolls low in the midnight gloom, echoes roll from a timeless tomb. Accursed hymn on the wind does swell, binding.
They were living ordinary lives until midnight. The portals came, silent, black, and waiting. Some stepped through and vanished. They awoke in a world that was dead, yet watching. No answers, no way back, just strangers and fear. Then came the elders, old, parasitic, hungry. Screams echoed, they ran, and the hunt began. Welcome to the Elder Games. Coming soon, only at Professor Shadow.
To protect them, not become the thing they feared. Look at this place, it's perfect!
It's like a dream.
Is this what you want?
Then come and take it. You were never meant to see this side of me, but he told it anyway. The Professor. It's fake. Worst fake I've ever seen. I knew it was a hoax. There's nothing here.
Get out! Get out! You brought it! You led it here!